Hello and welcome back to EAC, the movie, TV show, and video game review channel that hopefully gives you a little bit of a basis on whether one of those things is good or bad. Today I'm going to be reviewing Hobbs and Shaw, which came out this year in 2019, directed by David Leitch, and is a Fast and Furious franchise spin-off movie starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham as Hobbs and Shaw, who tried to face off against Idris Elba's character, who is a genetically enhanced soldier, as he says in the trailer and in the movie. He is apparently Black Superman, as he calls himself, and he has like a metal spine and stuff like that. That's what makes him a genetically enhanced soldier. And I had no desire to see this movie. I don't watch a lot of Fast and Furious franchise movies. Again, this is a spin-off. It doesn't have like Vin Diesel and all the regular people who would be in a Fast and Furious movie. It's just Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham as Hobbs and Shaw, of course. And I didn't really need to see this movie. I had no desire to see it. It was actually my friend who invited me to go see it with him. And after that, I kind of got ready for this movie. I kind of got a bit excited, actually, because I was interested to see what they're going to do with this. And all I want to see, these were the two things I wanted to see in this movie. Comedy, aka banter between Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham's characters, and action. And I kind of got both of those things. I'll talk about them in a minute. Let's start off with the comedy aspect of this movie. Obviously, this was meant to be a summer blockbuster. This is a classic example as one of those. Just a movie you could sit back, relax, not have to worry about anything, and just laugh along with the movie. So for comedy, there was more like a 60-40 ratio. 60 being jokes hitting, and then 40 being jokes not hitting at all, at least to myself, obviously, if the jokes hit or not, made me laugh or not. And that's not good. In a movie like this, it should be at least 70-30 or 75-25, either one. In a comedy movie, it needs to be even higher because that's the whole movie. But in this movie, it was more like a 60-40 ratio. And in my theater, and to myself, again, some of the jokes were really funny. They're either really funny, sometimes funny, or just not funny at all. And unfortunately for this movie, it was more on the side of not that funny at all to, okay, I'll give a little laugh to that because they want me to laugh. It was more like that. The banter between Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham as Hobbs and Shaw, the main characters in this movie, that had to work, and it did. They work great together. I want to see more movies of them, just them, in the future. It doesn't have to be in a Fast and Furious movie, just any movie with them kind of disliking each other, but that would kind of come off as this movie, just a replica of this movie with them two, kind of battling and arguing with each other throughout the whole movie, not really getting along. And that is one of the best parts of this movie. Jason Statham and Dwayne Johnson do great in this movie, and everything else, some of the jokes just came off as a bit cringy, honestly, because you could tell that they're trying to get you to laugh. You're like, okay, you should laugh at this, you need to laugh to make the joke work, and when you don't, it's just awkward and cringy. When the jokes did hit, it was funny. But when they did not hit, it was kind of cringy. It was honestly, everyone in the theater just kind of went silent. Some people gave a little, like trying to lessen the blow of us just being cringed out of our minds at this. And also, I will get into this in a second, but this is kind of a dumb movie. Like, it's insane how many things go on in this movie and just work out. And I'll get to that in a second when I get to the action part of this movie. But it is a silly movie, so you kind of gotta give it a little, okay, that was kind of funny. But, you know, I just couldn't a lot of times. And the friends that I came with, as I said, my friend invited me. He brought a couple other people along too, my other friends. One of them was Ben. He was in one of the videos, 47 Years Down, that review. He was in that one. He came with us, and he said that too. Some of the jokes just didn't work as the filmmakers wanted us to. Let's just put it that way. Again, some jokes hit, some didn't, and I'm afraid the ratio wasn't really there for the comedy aspect of this movie. And if you see this movie, you might disagree with me. It's all based on your sense of humor, so it's all up to you. But to me, some of the jokes, I was expecting it to be better in the comedy part of this movie than it was. So now moving on to the action, and this is obvious at this point. Every Fast and Furious movie has insane and incomprehensible action that just works out in a way for the characters. And when, a car is flying off the edge of a mountain or something, which happens in other Fast and Furious movies, I'm guessing. I mean, again, I haven't seen them all, but I'm guessing that happens a lot. It happens in this movie as well as in the trailer. And, cars fly off mountains just barely hanging on. There's one helicopter scene, which is actually awesome, but it's just, you have to accept the silliness of the action in this movie, or else you're just going to be sitting there being nitpicky, and you are not going to enjoy this movie if you cannot accept the silliness and just how dumb the action is. I mean, some scenes you could believe, but other ones are just like, that would never happen in real life. And that has been appearing throughout many recent Fast and Furious movies. And it's kind of become a pattern in these movies. You just expect to see it now. But this was one of, I'm pretty sure, my friend's first Fast and Furious movie. Again, it's a spin-off, so I guess it's not really, I mean, it's based on the characters, so. But he saw it, and when something crazy would happen, like I said, like the car dragging a helicopter, there's one scene that I said was actually good if, again, you learn to accept it as what it is and not be nitpicky about it. But when all the cars attach to each other and they're holding on to the helicopter that has Idris Elba in it, and he's trying to get away with one of the characters. I'm not going to spoil anything in this movie, in this review, about this movie, because this is a newer release, but there's one scene, this was in the trailer again, when the cars hook up, they drag the helicopter, Idris Elba is in it, and they go across the cliff. The last car's back wheels are hanging onto it. They loop around the cliff, and they keep on driving. They use like an acceleration thing to all get back on the ground, and it's dumb. It's dumb how that happens. It would never happen in real life. It defies the laws of physics, like in other Fast and Furious movies, but when something like that would happen, my friend would just stand there and be like, and he would look around to me and to my other friend, Ben, who was sitting next to him. When we got out of the theater, I said to all my friends, you just have to look at this movie as a movie trying to entertain you. This wouldn't happen in real life. Again, it defies the laws of physics, and you just have to look at it as it's trying to entertain you, not as something trying to be realistic. I mean, Idris Elba's character has a metal spine, like a robot spine he has in this movie. I mean, that's what this movie was trying to do, though. They were trying to entertain you, and that's it, not necessarily trying to be realistic in any way, and I thought that was fine. The action was good if you learn to accept it. That's just one of the main points of this movie that I have to say to you guys. If you haven't seen it, and if you have seen it and have a negative review on it, just look at it in the way that I'm telling to you right now. But yeah, overall, Hobbs and Shaw wasn't that bad of a movie. A good movie you could just relax to, sit in the theater, put popcorn in your face, and not have to worry about anything. Not like Avengers Endgame when you're worrying, oh my god, who's gonna die and stuff like that, being so tensed up. This movie just releases every bit of stress you might have had going into any other movie this summer or earlier this year. If you love Fast and Furious, then you're going to love this movie. You're going to be happy with it. There's nothing that can offend you in any way in this movie, in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't ruin the characters, it doesn't ruin the whole franchise. It's just a fun, blockbuster summer movie that you could just sit back and enjoy it. That's what type of movie this is, and I think it did an okay job at trying to be it. Obviously, I talked about some of the flaws, and some of the flaws that other people might have with the action, as I said, but I didn't think it was that bad of a summer blockbuster movie, so for that reason, I'm going to be giving Hobbs and Shaw a 7 out of 10. Guys, look forward to more videos from me in the future. I'm really trying to start my TV show reviews as well as video game reviews very soon, so look forward to that from me. But this is the end of this review here, so for now, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye!